I feel like what here is useful or valuable to me though is probably the most like useful.
Or valuable.
Like we're looking for evidence or we're looking for clues basically, and like I feel like that's the closest thing to a do we see anything that we're looking for anything that would be useful to our investigation. We're not trying to see if if there's a secret purpose to this they're not telling us,
no, I get you.
We're trying to find anything relevant about this.
Yeah, so what's useful or valuable to us, I agree with that.
Yeah. Sweet, you're also agree?
Yeah, no, I fully agree with that. Yeah.
That's democracy in action.
Nice. Alright, what here is useful or valuable to us?
Actually, I think the Axis pipes up. You know what? I don't think Monopoly.
Completely unprompted.
Democracy doesn't work.
Shut up, Axe. Not time.
Let's see.
Just saying.
Useful or valuable to you? Useful or valuable? Useful or valuable?
Nothing.
I guess the doctor had a look of concern on his face. One, the head doctor, seems to he seems to he'd probably be someone to ask further about the deaths. And the dead bodies.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He probably has some kind of, extra knowledge that he's not willing to share in front of everybody.
Knowledge.
So, yeah. After that's done, they pick up the body and they say, Veritas just tells them to bury it behind bury it behind with the others.
Others?
Azora, sort of goes to Veritas and nods and just says, "Thank you. I do appreciate the trust, and it is useful for us to have as much information as possible, and we hope to do everything we can to get to the bottom of this and stop this happening as soon as we can."
If any of those runes pop up anywhere where we don't like them, we'll know who the leak is. And then he heads out.
Well, real quick, Azora just sort of laughs, without smiling, but just believe me, there's not a chance I could reproduce any of those runes if I tried. Bad enough with words I've been reading my whole life.
Good to know.
Runes I've only seen once.
Good to know. And yeah, he leaves.
Yeah.
And yeah, they go to bury the body.
Suppose we should go and ask that doctor. Go and have another word with them when they are alone.
Yeah, so two go out to bury the body, which means that the doctor is left with just his assistant in the medical building.
Hello, I'm Axe.
Azora's going to be fairly direct about it. She's just going to go up to the doctor and say, "Have you done the previous bodies?"
Yes, I've done all of them.
Would you mind answering a few questions? Might help us in our investigations.
I suppose.
Is now a good time, or would you rather do it later?
Now's fine. Just kind of frustrated about everything.
Why?
I understand. Thank you for your
Why? Fucking Axe just ask why.
Yeah, I think he should ask that.
Why? Well, I'm so frustrated.
Why? You get with all the dead students, you get to do your job.
Yeah, he just looks to his assistant and just says, "Griffith, take 10." And the assistant looks at him.
The
Griffith.
assistant is named Griffith?
Yes.
Oh
Jason?
no.
And the assistant just, shrugs and walks out the building towards the mess hall.
Axios goes, wait, what's 10? Take what? What's 10?
And yeah, he looks to you and just says, what do you need to know?
To know if Griffith's gonna fuck us all over.
Mm,
No, I don't actually say that.
Okay.
Alright, yeah, Aegis does say you had a look on your face partway through that. You looked
Yeah.
Getting real direct with it.
you looked perturbed. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I am.
What?
It's just... it's not something that... So... He looks around and just says, y'all can keep a secret, I'm assuming.
We have
I have
to.
to assume that. Yeah.
well, Axios forced to.
You can keep a secret for Veritas. Can you keep a secret from him?
Yes. Gladly.
Yeah.
I've already bribed
Excellent.
one kid.
Actually, just that Axios hasn't met him much, but he doesn't smell.
So
Yeah, he looks around.
I feel that working around Veritas will be for the benefit of the investigation.
So, I've been around a lot throughout my years. Been around, I've actually not been on staff with Mandela for all that long. Only about the last 3 years. Before that, I was a traveling doctor throughout lands off to the south.
And you were always magically inclined as a doctor?
Yeah, I've always had a knack for being able to discern root causes and problems with the magical makeup of people. That's been one of my specialties as a doctor. So when I came here, I finally found an institution with resources to give me work that I could be set with for. I had hoped to be set with comfortably for the rest of my days, but now there's a snag here, and something's not right with these kids, these bodies, and they don't want to admit that.
Something's
Listen.
not right.
Listen, I know you just asked about Veritas, and if I can't convince you, I won't bring it up to him, but when I spoke to him the other day, he was insistent that these people just couldn't cut it. If you could tell him outright that there is foul play here, he would have to change his approach.
If I could rally enough people who are willing to break chain of command and go against the sacred rights of Mandela, maybe, but I'm basically an outsider here.
Listen, Azora Axe, do you think you two could maintain the investigation proper, and I'm gonna try and start rattling some cages around here?
Okie dokie.
But as for what isn't right, so they all hang themselves by the rope. They hang yourself by a rope up there with the size of the roof. They should asphyxiate to death. That's how they should die. That's how it seems they've died. But I don't think that it is. It's true that they show the telltale signs of asphyxiation, and they have the marks of the rope around their neck, but I think something else happens to them. my assistant mentioned that they have as much magic left in them as anyone else when they die. Well, I don't think that's right. From what all these kids have a fair amount of magic flowing through their systems, especially with the training they undergo. They should have more magic than this in their bodies when they die. But it's almost as if all their magic has been sucked out of them. And I have seen cases in the past where people have been killed by having the magic within their bodies violently removed. And that could leave them in a comatose state or a state of just plain death. And it can often look very similar to asphyxiation. It's almost as if their breath has been sucked out, the air in their lungs, but somewhat. But of course, this is the magic in their body. And I think, given the amount of residual magic we've been seeing, that that's what's happened. And I could prove it if I had enough time with the bodies before we... He looks around and just says, before we sealed the magic in.
Why have you not even attempted bringing this up with anyone?
I did, and the response was very poor. They are not willing to concede, but delaying the sealing procedure. It's sacred, it's religious. It has to be done as soon as possible. So I won't have the time. My method of proving it would take probably a whole day. And they're just not they can't wait that long. They have to seal the body.
Do you know why they have to seal the body that fast? Or
I don't. It's a sacred ritual that I only know I know what it does. I don't know why or how they do it.
I'm going to go to the library and look these things up.
You did not hear this from me, by the way, and you can't tell this to anyone. Or they'll probably figure out it was me who told you that anyway.
Azora, does
okay.
You say you know what it does? Can you tell us?
It locks all... So, magic exists within within everyone, as sort of an inherent part of their soul. When they die, the magic is released and goes often to the death world, from what we can tell, along with their soul, and residual magic is left behind. That magic, however, can also be siphoned off and by people who might want to siphon off magic and studied. And magic is often can be shaped and changed by training or experiments or procedures. That magic carries with it a certain imprint that, if siphoned off and taken away to be studied, can be unlocked and replicated. And the Mandela School is very protective of the knowledge and the magic they imbue in their students. So whenever a student dies or has to be let go, they need to make sure that the knowledge and magic within them is completely sealed off. And this has to be done, from what they tell me, this has to be done relatively quickly.
I see.
So that no one can go to these bodies and steal the Mandela's secrets.
It has to be sealed quickly, even though they're not going anywhere?
Yeah. Otherwise the magic will seep outwards too much and can no longer be contained and broken up.
I see.
I think that's the explanation they gave me, at least.
Well, this has all been helpful, but we can't talk about this then. Can't really
Yeah.
use this knowledge for much sway. I'll have to think of a different angle through which to try and kick down a few doors around here. Metaphorically speaking.
Right. Well, I'll tell you this much. If I'm right about the cause of death, and keep in mind this is just my theory that's what's happening. They could well also just be asphyxiating on a noose. And that's the going theory for everyone else, at least.
Odd.
Zora does. Oh no, go ahead.
Odd question, Doctor, but you might know this. What's the students around here? Do they have a standard set of equipment they are given by the school? Does it include rope, or would they have to go and fetch that?
They
from the
would
supply
have to
room?
get the rope from storage.
Has rope been going missing from storage that you know of?
I wouldn't know. You'd have to ask the quartermaster.
I'm gonna go and have a word with him.
But if I'm correct about their method of death, and it's not asphyxiation, it's the magic being taken from them, and that would mean that what's killing them is
Not the
something.
rope.
Well, it's not the rope, but it would have to be something that they're being exposed to sometime. It's something that they're being exposed. It has to be something that they're being exposed to. Likely some kind of. I don't know. Maybe something is able to sneak into their dormitories unheeded and suck the magic out and frame it. Maybe they're exposed to something that's slow acting and it's hours after. I don't know, but
Even if it is the magic being sucked out of them that's killing them, they're being left strung up regardless.
yeah.
So something has to be doing that.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what it's either something sneaking in or something. Well, I guess it would have to be something sneaking in, then, wouldn't it? I don't know. Again, I might not even be right. I just wish I could prove that if they'd entertain the thought. Well, good luck with your investigation.
And thank you sincerely for your help. You've been of great use to this
Alright.
investigation.
If they find out that you know anything, let me know in advance so I can get the hell out of here.
Will do.
Zora nods. Yeah, like pats him on the shoulder, of course.
Yeah, so Aegis walks outside and just turns to the group and says, I don't even know if it's worth talking to the quartermaster with what he just said.
I would still check. It's good to know if rope has been going missing or not. If it's not, that means the rope isn't coming from inventory. If it is, we at least know. Well, might be something to investigate. I'm going to go to the library for a bit, then I'm going to follow some other leads on. Ask some people about Glyn.
While you're at the library, I imagine it's what you're looking up, but if not, could you look up that ritual he spoke about, see if he's being lied to? Might be good to have something to throw back in Veritas's face if we can figure out an angle that doesn't make the Doctor the one to blame there.
I can look into that, sure. Actually, I assume we would have talked about it last night, but we didn't. Like, waking you up for your shift, Azora would have filled you in on further insight she had learned about, like, what was his name? Jethro, and, like, his relationship with Sophie and whatnot, and Azora being increasingly suspicious that it's connected to him.
You suspect one of the students?
Jethro has had fights and arguments with every one of the students. Even if he doesn't know, I could see this being in some way connected to magic's weird, but he has had some sort of personal issues with every person on the list. Although he's also been forthcoming with the information, which says to me it may be a connection he's not aware of, but I'm suspicious at the very least.
I can understand that. Alright, I'll bear that in mind. But yeah, Aegis is trying to think what to do right now. He's not sure if he's gonna go back. He wants to basically go over that instructor's head. Basically, which he wants to go over Veritas's head, which is probably gonna be difficult. But yeah, no. Aegis does tell the group, you keep investigating that. I'm going to go and play politics for a while.
Mm-hmm.
If I get kicked out, I apologize.
It's okay. Axe don't like this place anyways.
Yeah, but the sooner we leave after we stop the suicides, regardless of who we're doing it for.
You're not thinking of the money?
Do you have any instructions for Corum, by the way?
Yeah,
Wait,
okay,
is he with us?
Yeah, you took him with you.
I
didn't
asked,
realize.
actually, I do consult Corum what his opinions are on this. Like, if he's
Let's see. Corum thinks that Corum says, well, after I left my town, we've seen a lot of went around trying to make it as a mercenary, was in a lot of extant groups that didn't last very long. I feel like I've seen that guy's type, Veritas's type, before.
Yeah.
And well, just a thought, he could act. He might be behind this. Maybe this is his method of weeding out the weak.
I suppose so, but he's been attacking the top students, if that's the case. Everyone in that victims list was one of the best.
Yeah. Well, here's a thought. Maybe it's not targeted. Maybe there's just a blanket mental attack put out every night, and only one person a night falls for it.
So it's totally random. That would explain the lack of commonalities.
Yeah.
Not necessarily random, but just,
he might have been
whoever's weakest that night.
He might have been expecting the lowest tier people to fall, but it's the highest tier people falling, and well, I guess if maybe he would have stopped by now. Who knows? Just a thought.
I'll bear it in mind. I don't want to go just insulting Veritas until he kicks us out, but frankly, it's hard not to insult him.
They got a ship. There's a ship approaching the camp. Apparently it's has their animals.
Fresh
Yeah, we
one?
still haven't investigated that.
There are some people there waiting for it. I don't know if you want to go check that out.
I suppose we should.
Alright. Alright. So, yeah. You head over there.
We'll go to the library if y'all want to investigate the animal thing.
Alright.
I think Axe should... No. I guess Aegis will. I don't know who's gonna do what. Aegis had an idea, but I think this...
Axe can check the animals.
Okay, you and Corum go inspect the animals. Don't talk about communism too much. I'm gonna go knock on some doors. I'm gonna go talk to the
Nice.
quartermaster
He doesn't even know
first.
the name of it. He doesn't know it's in communism. It's just like...
Well,
He considers it collectivism.
Let's do Axe at the docks first. So, Axe, you and Corum arrive at the dock by the beach where a ship is approaching. A large burly man is there waiting, as are two students.
Hello.
You recognize one of them as Pierce.
Who was Pierce again? It was...
He was the guy. He was the kid from the mess hall.
Oh, hello.
And he looks at you again and just says, "Keep running into you."
Yeah. Funny that. Small university.
What?
You know.
No, what did you say? I didn't catch that.
Oh, small universe.
Yeah, small universe. I guess. Huh.
Small university.
Never thought of this as a university.
Hmm.
Yeah. And the buff guy looks at him and says, "Pierce, who's this guy?" And Pierce looks up at him and says, "That's one of the investigators. Two of the investigators, actually."
Hello. Axe noticed you don't seem to care about Axe's giant size.
He looks at you. He actually comes up. He actually comes up to your chin, which is pretty tall for a human. And he looks at you and just says, "I seem bigger."
Ooh,
I like him big.
wow.
I like
Axe
'em
didn't
chunky.
think so. Because Axe is part giant.
Part giant.
Yes.
How interesting.
You don't have the faint interest in Axe.
Mm-hmm. So what are you doing here?
Axe is here to investigate.
Investigate what? The water?
Shit. Axe's brain forgot.
How tall is Axe again?
I was thinking he's getting close to 3 meters.
Oh no. Damn.
Wait, 12 to 3 meters?
No, 3.
Oh, 3 meters. Gotcha.
Not 12. 12 to 3. How the fuck would that work?
So he's like roughly 10,
He's
9.8 feet
He's
tall.
9'8".
Yeah, interesting.
That is interesting. That would place him as a very big person.
All right. Well,
I'm a bit more alarmed that he would be coming up to his chin then.
yeah.
Robert
I
Wallow,
thought
the tallest man to ever live, got to 8'11".
Yeah, I figured
2.72
Axe
meters.
was. Yeah, I figured Axe was like around 8 feet or like
That might actually be better. Yeah,
7,
no.
11 or
Like,
something.
he would be absurd if he
Yeah.
was 3 meters tall. Like,
Okay.
here's a picture of the fucking tallest man to ever live, Robert Wadlow. Fucking... Oh.
Okay, now
wrong chat.
let's take.
I
Look
mean,
how-
he was like a beanpole though too, you know.
Except in the... Well, yeah. He had
Okay.
giant ass hands.
Now let's go with that 8 then.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, yes. What are you here? What are you investigating? The water?
Axe trying to remember
Corum, just whispers the animals.
the animals.
Oh, yep. Yeah, the ship's coming in. There are animals on it, all right.
Well, yeah, Axe wanna investigate the animals.
All right, and how are you going to investigate them?
I don't know. How do you investigate animals?
We don't.
Exactly.
They're animals.
Exactly. Why do you think you have dead people here?
Oh
It's a bit
dear.
rude, isn't it?
Axe just speaking facts.
Right.
How's Corum doing right now?
Corum's has like 2 fingers to his temple.
Holy shit, when this guy was 2 years old, he was 4'6".
Oh yeah, no, this guy's crazy.
Anyway.
He had a whole promotional deal with shoes because like he had like custom shoes for obvious reasons, and like
So yeah, the
I
ship.
stood next to a life-size statue of him.
Right, so yeah, the ship arrives, and off it, 2 guys come off it and let out, and start bringing out cages. The cages have snakes in them.
Snake.
Snakes.
Oh, they're gonna start talking about obscure fucking Russian game.
I do more than that.
Fine. Is he gonna talk about obscure European games?
I do more than that.
Is he? Are they gonna
Alright,
also talk
so-
about?
so
Sonic
they're
games?
all-
I talk
So,
about everything.
So yeah, they bring out cages of snakes. All this from the snakes, you just hear like, hisses, and occasionally you just hear the phrase "Ukrainian developer Deep Shadows." Occasionally.
Great
Well,
Fall.
they can't exist because none of their games are on the GameCube.
Oh shit!
True.
Fuck.
There's a new
By the
console
way,
called-
Snakes, how's Valakas been going?
I was gonna stream it tonight, but I put it off to
Oh,
do
wow.
more writing. It's absurd as shit, and also glad Valakas is a real person.
Wait, what?
So that game Valakas story, that the character in it, Valakas, that is a real Russian streamer. He is the biggest Russian streamer. There are a ton of games about him. This is just one of them.
Nice.
Yeah. What? Yeah?
He's apparently a rural Russian streamer. He lives in the Russian countryside and he is absurdly popular. He streams like 11 hours every 2 days. He just is absurd. I looked into one of his streams and now he only speaks Russian, so can't really.
And you're still unable to speak Russian.
I unfortunately haven't made
Still
any
have
headway.
that character flaw.
Yeah, well, I even think if I spoke Russian, he would be indecipherable to me because he is extremely loud, extremely fast in how he speaks, and he's from the countryside.
Mm-hmm.
I feel I'd have to learn Russian and then get good at dialects to get.
Yes.
Okay, so let's continue. Yeah, they start leading. They bring the snakes in cages, and then they just start leading out sheep. And
What type of snakes? Not that I'm there, but I'm curious.
they're green with yellow eyes.
How big are they?
They're quite big, like size of your forearm or something.
What's their head shape?
Shut the fuck up. Anyway,
I want to know if they're venomous or if they're constrictors.
Shut up. That's what
their
their size shape is. Yeah, no. They start bringing out. Let me finish my thing. They start bringing out sheep and pigs, and also some hawks fly out.
I'm gonna ask a question about the people here.
Uh-huh.
What's the shape of their heads? Can I start doing some phrenology?
Jesus Christ.
Crack out some tongues. Just work out. Maybe I can find out who the killer is like that.
Their heads are all shaped like an orange.
Wow, it's all Carl's.
Pilkington. Yeah, they're all Carl Pilkington.
Whoops, all Carl's.
No wonder the school keeps having students dying. They're all Carl Pilkington.
Carl Pilkington, I feel, can survive an unnaturally long time.
Okay, so yeah, they bring in all the animals. Axe, what do you do?
Yeah, no, actually, definitely wanna look at these animals. You want to discern some reality.
Uh-huh.
Roll my wisdom.
One of them's gonna like have shifty eyes. One of the dogs, and it's like he's the killer. It's him.
Uh-oh.
All right, what's your question?
Rumbled, Raggy.
What here is it? It's not what it appears to be. You know, there's something up with.
The sheep. All the animals sort of. All the animals actually sort of like glisten with some innate magic in them. So they all seem to have like been somewhat altered by Mandela to have magic flowing through them. With the exception of the snakes, who they're actually basilisks, baby basilisks. So they are innately magical. But the other animals who weren't innately magical have had magic given to them.
Axios goes, okay, this understands that this school is all, we're using magic, aren't we smart, whatever, but seriously, making animals magical just so they can bring them here? What the hell?
You ask that or something?
No, he says
They
that.
ran away because of the bad juju.
Right. So yeah, the buff guy just says whatever and just walks over to help the animals along to their pen, which is right by the storage house.
Oh, Axe wanna look around in the pen actually. You know, what's it like?
It's a pen where they keep animals.
Is there anything special about this pen?
There's some indoor areas where the hawks can perch.
Is it also magical?
No, doesn't seem to be.
So I have to roll again.
No, you don't.
So this is where you keep animals.
Yep.
This is hard. Animal seems to be fine. Max don't know what.
They're all innately. Pierce just speaks up. Yeah, they're all innately blessed with magic, just so that they can. It helps with a lot of the uses we have for them. For example, the sheep, when we get their wool, it helps to have something very conductive to magic. So that's why they're blessed. The pigs, it's always they're there to. Sometimes we need them for food, but mostly they're here to eat up trash and slop, so that we're not littering or putting anything to waste. And some of that slop is magical, and so they're blessed with magic to handle that. The hawks are blessed with magic so as to be more amenable to beastmasters and training, as well as be more able to carry messages, and also anchor them here so that they can fly around without risking them just flying off into the distance. And, well, the baby basilisks are just innately magical creatures.
Why you have snakes?
They help with certain bits of specialized training we do.
Like what?
Nerve training for one thing, resistance training. One of the hardest drills we have to run is just being able to maintain staring contests with these things without getting petrified.
I just love that you threw out resistance training, because resistance training is holding like
Yeah,
a stretchy band. And just
Yeah.
holding the idea
Do that
of
with
doing
the
that
snake.
with snakes, just
Yeah.
stretching them out.
Yeah, it's a lot better if the thing you're doing resistance training with might kill you.
Yeah, that gives you the
Yeah.
edge.
It gives you the edge. At any moment, this thing could turn around and bite your head off.
You will not stop paying attention.
Axios goes, I feel like you're going many steps, like you're doing many steps just keep everything magic, when at the start you could have just skipped the magic.
Pierce sighs and just says, I just come here to learn, man.
Whatever. Axe feel like education system isn't designed to teach you, more like just test you for
Yeah, it is an academy.
just to test you so you fit into preordained boxes.
Yep.
Huh. Oh well.
Yeah, you have anything else to do, or?
Are you gonna ask or investigate about, like, when all the animals died before the suicide started?
Oh yeah. Axe was busy.
Yeah!
I mean,
Axe
I'm
was
kind of
busy.
surprised this didn't just become Axe petting the animals, asking no questions.
Oh, he's still penning them.
Oh, I see.
So
Just
Hold on.
absent-mindedly patting a basilisk as it's, like, chowing down on his thumb.
So, old. What I was gonna say? Oh yeah. So old animals die. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What
Well,
do you do?
no,
with them?
not really. Pierce just kind of scratches his head and just says, "You know what? Why don't you ask Instructor Turipto over there? I'm gonna go do drills."
Why
Just
Axe?
got sick of you.
You, like, Azora's dealing with Jeffro. I'm dealing with fucking the biggest piece of shit, and Pierce is dealing with Axe.
So yeah, the buff guy's name is Saripto, and he's an instructor. and he's handling the animals right now.
Hello. I'm
Yeah.
one of the investigators. I was sent here to ask about the animal.
These animals,
Yes.
they just got here. You saw them.
Oh yeah, no. What happened to previous animals?
Something happened in the middle of the night. They all ran off, and those that didn't ran off were found dead.
Did you see what happened?
No.
Anyone see what happened?
Nope. It all happened real quickly. There was a bunch of loud screeching, and then we came out, and that's just what we saw.
Did one of the animals hang themselves?
Oh,
Did
yes.
you see a
Did
sheep hanging by a noose?
Did one of them hang themselves?
No.
See. Well, Axe just curious. Anyway, Axe has other question.
Mm-hmm.
So when when those animals die,
It happened 10
which
days
day?
ago. It happened 10 days ago,
10
or 11
days-
days ago now.
11 days ago now.
11 days. Axe is trying to look like he has an idea what he's talking about, but
Deep in
he's-
thought.
he's just Axe. Axe, gotta be honest, kinda has. This is outside of Axe's.
Why don't you go eat breakfast or something?
Axe is better with that.
Breakfast. Finally, my area of expertise.
Yeah.
They're having
so Axe
omelets.
is gonna go off to have the omelets.
Yeah, no.
Alright,
He's like-
so let's switch over to Aegis. What are you Aegis doing?
So I go to the quartermaster.
Alright. Yeah, the quartermaster is in the supply building, which you don't have clearance for, so you'd have to knock.
Yeah, I go.
He actually only responds to shaving a haircut.
I refuse, no. I'm just gonna...
That's not shaving a haircut.
I know, I'm not humouring him. Also, Aegis doesn't know this knowledge. It would be metagame if I did shave a haircut now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be. Alright, yeah, he shows up, opens the door and just says, "Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm one of the...
Need more wood for carving."
No, I'm quite alright with what I've got, thank you. That was
Alright.
very high quality wood.
Thank you.
So, I'm here to ask about the rope.
The rope.
Well,
We have rope.
You've no doubt been hearing about...
Kind of concerning. Wait, you want rope? Oh, are you okay?
I don't... I'm
Do you
asking...
need to talk?
I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah, I mean, you're asking for rope. Are you? Listen, this investigation is getting to you. You don't have to do what they did.
So anyway, what I'm asking is, the students have been hanging themselves with rope. I want to know if rope has been going missing, if they've been taking it out, or has anything just, what's been going on here?
Well, we use our rope for a lot of things, to tie things down and all that. I guess I'll take inventory of it if you want to join me.
Sure.
Alright. Yeah, he leads you in.
I do think I'm guessing it's mostly like swords and just basic amenities, right? Like,
No, there are no swords. That's the armory.
oh,
This
yes.
is just regular supply. He introduces himself as Anselmo.
Alright, you're gonna have to write that down.
Yeah. Yeah, he's Anselmo. And he leads you around. There's a lot of, just wooden boxes. There's a lot of wood. There's a lot of just regular, like, metal, raw metal, a lot of raw, there's a lot of raw supplies. There's plenty of, like, there's fuel, lanterns, basically anything you'd find in adventuring gear.
Yeah, okay, so basic amenities and just
Yeah.
stuff for exploration, adventuring, and so on, right?
And yeah, he leads you over to the rope section where they just have a bunch of rope, like line, strewn around place. And he like goes over and he sees.
As we arrive at the ropes, Aegis says to him, "You see, the problem with these suicides is things are not as they appear to be.
How do you mean?
They're not as they appear to be."
Yeah, you said that. How are they not as they appear to be?
It's a play on words. The rope. All right, forget the pun. The rope.
Oh, you mean like not like KNOA?
Yeah.
That's good. You
Yeah.
know what? You should tell that joke to you should tell that joke to Asher. He'd like that.
Well, frankly, I was hoping this would be something that was just so ludicrously out of character I wouldn't need to justify it and could say that didn't happen, but now we're way too deep into the bit.
Aegis says in character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, he shows you, he looks at the ropes and he just says, It's interesting. He holds up the end of one and he says, and you see like it looks like it's been ripped off as opposed to cut.
Oh.
And he says, I did not make this cut. This is not a neat cut.
You're afraid not?
Yeah. It's a good one again.
He sounded considerably less amused that time.
Even though the first one may or may not have actually happened.
But yeah, I didn't make this cut. Someone must have ripped this.
How much?
Probably one of the damn TAs I have with me.
TAs?
Yeah, so we get a lot of students if they're doing well enough can apply to work as an assistant to one of the instructors, and basically do work for them, like handling the more menial tasks that they have under their care. So for me, when someone applies to be an assistant of mine, I would basically have them hand out basic supplies and take stock of things. I have 2 right now, so I'm assuming one of them pulled this out, but I could have sworn I taught them how to cut a damn rope.
Besides anything, so it's a messy cut job, and you weren't informed of it going.
Yeah, they did not put this on the ledger.
I'm going to say it would be infeasible, considering all things, to stop you giving out rope. But, well, thanks for showing me this anyway.
Right. Well,
Tell me the name of your 2 TAs. I might have a word with them, or tell one of my compatriots.
Alright, my TAs are Electra and Frito.
Okay.
Fraud.
That's the truth.
No.
Alright, so Electra, Frito.
Yeah.
Wait, who are these people you're investigating?
The TAs.
They're the assistants to Anselmo. They're the students who get to run a lot of who get to run supply.
Thank you.
So like they're in charge of taking. They like he delegates taking stock and handing out supply to people. To them.
Because it's clearly such a madhouse in here.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like super tired.
Wow.
Yeah, Aegis leaves him, and God, there is There's a lot of problems. You know what? I'm gonna try and track down. I'm gonna try and track down that kid from the other day.
Which one?
Marnix.
Marnix. Yeah.
Yeah.
Marnix. Which one was Marnix?
He's the he's the student assistant at the administration building.
Ah, gotcha.
So yeah, Marnix is actually doing drills right now.
Oh, okay. I'll leave into that for the moment. Instead, I actually just realized something better, which is going and having a word with Asher if I can track him down.
Right.
Because I assume it's been like a couple of hours since we last spoke, if not longer.
Sure. We want to do Azora first, though?
Yeah, let Azora go. I just have my scene.
So, Azora.
Alright, so, Azora's gonna go to the library, and first, this is a relatively unimportant thing, but she's kind of curious about something. So first she's gonna try and find a map of, there are lots of maps in geography books and whatnot here. Gonna try and find a map of, like, eastern lands,
Right. Yeah.
And finding Grimwood and going south, she's gonna try and find, like, the country the guy said he was from, try and recognize the name. What's his name was from?
Yeah. Veritas is from, said he was from Laria.
Laria. Okay.
Yeah.
Zora's gonna do a bit of research into what was it? Laria?
Laria.
Laria. Try and, get some information on it. How do you spell that?
There. Laria.
Okay. That's my notes on Veritas. Not from Hemlock, from Lyria.
What sort of a place is Lyria?
Lyria is a place divided mostly into chiefdoms. So it's a lot of warlords vying for control. It's sort of like Sengoku Jidai in a way.
Purely out of curiosity, what sort of climate and whatnot?
Climate's very windy. It's known to be a very windy land. There's a lot of it's very hilly as well. And it's often quite cold.
So, warlords want to take it a lot of war, pretty big emphasis on, combat, whatnot.
Yeah, combat, maintaining your own territory and taking territory from others, absorbing clans. It's like Sengoku Jidai.
Yeah. How about magic and whatnot? Is there a big magic tradition?
Yes, they all tend to. All of the clans kind of have channel magic in their battles. A lot of them channel it through their swords. A lot of them channel it through staves and shit. Just casting spells. There's just all kinds of magic all there. The biggest of the the biggest clan you can find on record, like the biggest war chiefdom, is one who primarily focused on summoning.
I see. Actually, you know what? This is a library. Effectively, could this library be just considered like a big old bag of books, basically?
Sure.
To try and essentially spout lore on this guy's culture, where he came from, see if I can figure out anything useful.
Okay.
So this would be with a +1. Jesus fucking Christ! Why? Why?
Azora can't read.
She is bad at reading. She's not good with. She has trouble with it. Verbal stuff. She's kind of slow about it. You know what? For kicks, sees what I will say, just at one point, she does look into read entry about Grimwood, a bit more out of curiosity than anything.
Harmless.
Right.
That's the
record on Grimwood notes it as a war-torn land filled with violent and notably large monster population.
That
And
sounds about right.
there are notes on the religious factions at play.
Mm-hmm. Azora just sort of briefly, looking on a map, looks over like the province she's from and whatnot in the northeast, and then just, goes back to proper research. Fuck, there's something else I wanted to research here. Oh, what was it? You were saying something here.
I was asking you to look into that ritual.
Yeah,
They said
yeah.
it had to be done really fast. I kind of doubt the validity, and I think that's part of the cover-up. It doesn't the time doesn't actually matter, despite what they claim. Despite what the doctors said, that's just him towing the line. Or
Yeah,
not,
can I research that ritual?
Roll in.
Okay, cool. Oh, wow, look at that.
Oh.
Finally, Jesus Christ.
Basically,
Bravo.
like, Aegus's intent with asking you that was, if they are lying about that ritual whatsoever, that could give an argument for letting a proper investigation go down.
So you find a Mandela history book detailing the history of their sacred rites. Noted when you find the one on the rites performed on the dead, it says that the magic imbued in the students by the Mandela School can be a dangerous force if wielded by those who do not understand it or seek to exploit it, and thus it must be sealed away properly. Should anyone operating with it either die or attempt to defect from the school. And specifically, it says though, there are a lot of like blacked out things here because like there are things, that the students aren't allowed to know either. But the gist of what you get is that the rites that they perform to seal the magic away is to be performed is optimally to be performed at the school itself. Like they should, like if they have a dead body of one of their fallen, they should bring it to the island school and have the rites done there.
Interesting.
And that rites done outside of the school should only be done if transportation to the school is unfeasible within is infeasible to be done before the body begins to decompose.
Okay, damn, yeah. And so that's a much more generous time window than they were. So yeah, so that basically confirms Aegus's suspicions that this is, they're intentionally rushing this way more than they would really have to, and are possibly trying to cover something up.
Now, the only issue is, if we can't resolve this today, that means there's going to have to be another dead student to do that.
Yeah. In any case, I think it's worth investigating what's his name tonight and like trailing him.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, actually. Is fucking keeping an eye on him, see if he goes anywhere or does anything. Veritas. So the sealing ritual has a way longer window to be performed.
So yeah, once Azora has this, she'll regroup with you and basically talk this over.
Okay, yeah.
Azora does say, or I could just, Azora just says, or I could just kill him and then see if people stop dying.
That might be jumping the gun a little, and I think we wouldn't get paid for doing it. Is jumping the gun a phrase in this setting? Who knows?
Yes.
Good.
Jumping the sword.
There are guns.
That might be jumping the gun a little bit, and besides, we won't get paid.
It was a joke.
Oh,
It might be jumping the
it's hard
spear
to
a little
tell
bit.
sometimes.
Well, that's awkward.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Azora does say, I do want to look into any...
maybe Aegis didn't take that as a joke because he does want to kill the guy.
Aegis is just gonna try and kill him by himself and get wrecked. That's
he's just
the
gonna,
thing.
Like,
None of us
he's gonna
have
be camped out
magic.
on a building and just like throw a javelin at him and then hide. Who could it be?
That's the thing. None of us have magic, and we're at the magic school. Like, it's a bit of a vulnerable position to be in.
They're all students, though. We'll kick their ass.
He is not.
Yeah, but he's an old man, I think. How old is he, actually, Neo? I've been assuming he's like 60.
Yeah, he's up there in age.
Yeah?
Yeah, probably in his 50s.
Oh, okay. But the problem with magic users is even into their fucking old age, they're still pretty goddamn hardcore. Yeah.
Azora does say that she still wants to investigate Glenn.
You mean...
see the type of person. I thought that. Oh, was that not?
Yeah, Glenn was the
Glenn's
most recently killed. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
See, the type of person, and see if she had any more connections. I'm still suspicious about Jethro, though not as much as, Veritas.
I see. You keep on that. Let me try and rattle Veritas a little bit more, or see if I can get past him. I won't bring up the...
Oh, I was gonna also ask if he asks, what he gleaned about the animal situation.
Axe is eating omelets.
Oh. Well, in that case, Azor just says to Aegis, I didn't realize he was still eating omelets. I'm gonna go regroup with Axe, see if he's learned anything about the animal situation that may be useful to know as well.
Got ya. I won't bring up the ritual thing now, obviously. We'll see if anything happens tomorrow, though I feel we'll have to work harder to convince Veritas to stay a second time.
Okay. Let's go catch up with Axe and see what he has to say.
Okay, so
could we actually wrap up relatively soon, though? I'm just exhausted.
Actually, the scene I had planned next would actually be a great starter for next session.
Oh,
so,
right.
At the mess hall with Axe.
Oh boy, the food fight.
So yeah, that'd be great for next session. All right, let's end the session.
Okay.
Bonds. Any bonds advance?
Not really in my case.
No, not
It's
really.
been a very low character interaction session. I also did not do my alignment. I did not even take a fulcrum.
I'm assuming yours didn't either, Azora?
Give me a second. I'm
Your
trying to think.
bonds?
I actually am gonna update one. Aegis has an interestingly pragmatic worldview, seems to not even believe in suffering or despair, and has an impressive ability to ignore it. I'm actually not gonna change what's there, but just add on to that. Regardless, I think we have more in common than we have different in terms of pragmatism.
Nice.
I do think it's the most, Aegis has been pissed off with people. I play him a lot more abrasive with things, but I do think when Aegis runs up against someone he doesn't like, he doesn't exactly hide it.
Mm-hmm.
And he keeps going on about, I have to do this or I get paid, but he is insulting the guy who can kick him out of there without pay, just without much care for it.
Yeah, I don't think any other bonds.
All right. So, did you defend those weaker than you?
No, I did not.
No, you didn't. And Aegis, you didn't help your fulcrum.
No, didn't even take one, as I said.
Wow. Well, Axe, Well, Axe has the hardest alignment of all. Did you learn
Yeah.
something new about a location or culture?
Yeah, he learned about
Oh
this
my
place.
god, you did! That's
learned so-
awesome!
He learned so much.
Wow.
Can
Thank
I
you,
have?
XP.
You know what? I'm gonna take that alignment as well.
You're so good. You're so good at role playing.
Oh
Did we learn something new and important about the world?
no.
Yeah.
We learned about a whole new country and a chieftain,
Yeah, you did.
and
Yay.
he's a big piece of shit.
We overcome a notable monster or enemy?
The NDA.
I know. You loot a memorable treasure.
No.
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 Well, take an XP for playing. Well gamed. Well,
Zora is
gamed.
now slightly more deadly
Nice.
and faster.
You want to see my updated suffering chart that I've been working on?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna stop recording.